It looks like we are a go. Hello, everyone out there. Hope you're having a great week. Everything is heating up outside in the northern hemisphere, and we're getting a lot more daylight. We're getting a lot more sunshine, all unless you're getting a lot of smoke from all the fires. And it does seem to be a bit of an issue, but if you stay in and make sure that you keep yourself safe, if you have respiratory issues, please make sure you do that. But let's get started. As you may know, my name is jdthomas. I am a business and communication advisor with Jade Strategic Relations. My goal with these Thursday Lives is to provide help to anybody who has a business or are looking to grow themselves with personal communications, business communications. This is where I try to help. And today is a different format. Today is going with Ask Me Anything. It's a great way of getting live feedback, getting feedback, and I'm going to keep an eye on the comments. If anybody's providing any comments, asking me anything, I'll go to that. But I was provided some questions in emails, so I want to get to them quickly so that way we don't go too long. And Sandy S. From my Gmail account, how do I keep my business growing through the summer? People don't buy during the summer months. That can be an issue. So depending on what your business is, can be some reduction in sales throughout the summer because people go on vacations. But it is a bit of a myth if you look at the economic information, the economic data that comes out from things like the banks and Interact and other transaction-led processes we see that there is a lot of spending going on during the summer months. And the idea is that, kids are off, so people go away. But that doesn't mean business stops. Business does keep going, and there's a lot of business to be had out there, depending on what your products are. Now, how to grow that market set is important because how you frame your products. So, the makeup, for example, women are going out, they're going out and enjoying themselves. And so they do wear makeup. So I've heard from some people who think that cosmetic sales are they go down during the summertime, but that's not necessarily the truth. It depends on how you frame your discussions. And this is everything. So remember first off that for the most part, teachers are the only ones that get 2 months off during the summer, kids and teachers. And that may represent a fair amount of the buying power out there, but it's actually overall market segments, it's actually very small. So how do you get that business? And it comes down to messaging. And one of my business is generally business to business. And so I consult businesses and help them grow. Now, the problem with the perception is that, well, people aren't buying. And while that's true, that doesn't mean businesses can't be getting ready for the fall. If you are going to be putting out marketing in the fall to try to capture that, to try to capture the people going back, the parents of kids going back to school and people getting back into routines, then you need to be starting your marketing campaign now. What is it that you're saying? Do you have some new products or services coming on the market that may be of interest to your potential clients? Think about what you want to say in the fall, and you make sure that you get things ready for it. A coordinated campaign, get all your posts, social media posts, physical posts. If you're doing flyers or bus ads or whatever it might be, you want to gear those things up and be ready for the fall now. If you're an accountant, you could be reaching out to people or businesses that and saying, hey, if you are experiencing slow times, this is a great time for you to get caught up on your bookkeeping. All you have to do is send me your receipts and send me what you got going, and we'll get you ready for that way when you're prepared for the fall. And just think about how you're messaging what it is out there, what you want to bring in. There are maybe it's a different market segment. Maybe it's, there are people that don't have any time off during the summer. That's their busy time and they work really hard. People in landscaping and outdoor services, they don't take time off. The construction industry, they go really hard out right this time of year. They really work, and so they're working. So depending on what products you have and what services you have, you can maybe put on a sale and say, hey, it's a summer sale. And then, you provide a discount and that attracts people. There's a lot of different ways of getting business at this time of year. And it's important to keep that in mind and go for that. Just go for it, because if you hold yourself back, if you give that, first off, if you start with the mentality that business is slow, then you're going to operate your own business as if things are going to be slow. But if you look at the opportunities that are out there and you really try hard to go after those opportunities and work towards getting that messaging out there, or being ready, like I said, just be ready, get your business, get your clients ready for fall. And there are people who are maybe taking it back and taking it a little bit easy, but they still have cycles, they still have and they still have money. Right now, we're seeing inflation is coming down overall worldwide. The inflation was brought on because of the lack of products to meet the demand. And so that raised prices, and that created a lot of problems. And so as that pressures come down, as more products are starting to get back onto the market, as the other mechanisms that are being in place to try to reduce inflation, but there's a high level of employment throughout most of the G7 nations. You're seeing that there is still a lot of economic activity going on. It's not panicked and that things are coming down and being reasonable, but there's lots of money out there. So how do you get a part of that share as a business owner? Depends on how you're going to go out and what your plan is. So if you need some help with this, contact me, jdthomas at jdstrategicrelations.com. Visit my website, jdstrategicrelations.com, and go to services, and you can book some time with me. And we'll talk about how we can create a strategy that will get your business growing. And lots of businesses grow during this time. It's the time for you to do that too. So Sandy S., you didn't say where you're from, but please reach out to me and let's talk about how we can help you get your customers in right now, because almost no matter what you provide, there's a market right now. So moving on, we've got Tim, who's from another Gmail account. I'm a motivational speaker with a message about how I overcame anxiety that disabled me throughout my life. I'm an introvert, but have found my voice. How do I get people to hire me? So I started with a not-for-profit organization, Toastmasters. I started as a member trying to help develop my communication leadership skills. And it is a long-term methodology towards developing your skills. And I'm not here to get on Toastmasters. It is if you've heard of Toastmasters, it's a process. It's a longer term. It's not, I want to do this and I've got 3 weeks. But we got a lot of people coming in the door and that said, hey, I've got a wedding and I got to, do my daughter's wedding speech in 3 weeks, or, I'm doing this big presentation. I need help right now. And Toastmasters wasn't good for that. So I started helping people with their communications out of the need there. And I would say, okay, well, let me help you out. And what I found was that there was a great need. A lot of people have big presentations that they want to do, or they want to grow as a business. And the business of that business, which of being a speaker, is important to know. And I did a recent Thursday Live video on speakers. How do you become a professional speaker? And Tim, you've got a message. You want to get it out there, and that's the biggest thing. Is you have to have the message. What is it that you want to change in the world? And although it goes more than that. Because once you get up on a stage and you motivate people, first off, what is it you want to motivate them to do? You want to help them with if they're introverts or if they have anxiety, and a lot of people have anxiety. Cortisol is at extreme levels with a lot of people right now, and for a lot of different reasons. So your message is timely. So what you need to do is come up with the methodology, not just here's my message, but what are you doing with it afterwards? Once you motivate people, you're up on the stage and you motivate people, and they've heard your message and they've inspired. What are you doing with them when they get off when you get off the stage? How are you reaching? How are you helping them? Because if you don't have something to help them afterwards, then you're just there for yourself. If you really are interested in the message, and if you're interested in developing that and helping people through a special time, that times in their lives, whatever it might be, then you have to take them afterwards and show them a way. Maybe it's a book, maybe it's a program where you go with them, maybe it's group courses or individual coaching. What is it that you're doing afterwards? What is your methodology? So the mission, vision, values is big. A lot of people dismiss it, and I go on a lot about it because I have a process on it, because it is the most important thing. The vision. What is it that you see the world? What is it? How is the world looking? What is the problem that needs to be resolved in the world? And it's a grandiose, it's huge, it's a big, high level, may never get there idea, but the vision is most important. And you don't even have to come up with the vision yourself. You could have somebody else's vision. Say, hey, there's a lot of people out there who, throughout time, a lot of people to follow, they had visions about what they saw the world they wanted to be, and you can borrow from there. But that vision as to what you want to do, and have that as your market. This is what people buy into, by the way. There's a lot of people who may buy the products and services that you provide, but if they're just transactional, I just want to buy a service or product, then they'll do that. But if people do like to connect and have a connection with the businesses that they're providing their money to and investing in. And to look at Apple is a great example. They had a vision of changing how the world works. They happen to use technology, but that vision of what they wanted in the world. Now, your mission is how you're achieving that. What are you doing on a routine basis to get the world to that area? And so and having a good mission and vision is, you can bring in products and services that lead to that vision, and it makes sense. Where it starts to fall apart is if you are a public speaker or you want to help people reduce anxiety, but you're also trying to sell Bitcoin. And I'm not dumping on them, I'm just saying that those are two very different things. So how does Bitcoin help you get to that world of people having less anxiety? Maybe it is through financial security. However you frame it, that's how you do it. But it goes into that context. It allows you to say, this makes sense to what I'm trying to accomplish. So your mission and your vision are there. And this is what gets people to know who you are, to want to listen to you, to be interested in your story. Because it's not just that you have a story. What is it you're doing with it? And so you get those things, and your values are the things that you determine. And we know what values are, but it's how are you how are your decisions made? How are you influencing things? Verbs are very important when you're using vision statements, because that's there to make it to grow. So as a public speaker, as someone without a mission to do something, my mission is to help people understand how communications is actually done. I'll get into that afterwards, so I don't want to get off the point. But and even that I didn't do a great job with. But your vision, your mission, your values, those go into you as a business, because you are a business. You want to get paid for doing this. It may not be your primary focus, and that's good. But you do need to, if you want to get up on stages, you want to do this for get up there, then you need to get paid for it. And you should get paid for it, because there's a lot of people who have interest in, especially if you have a book, if you have a program, and you can help them, because then that's your time. And if you're providing help to people and really trying to get that vision of what you see, a world where people are not hung up on their anxieties, or their anxieties, helping them bring it down, then you need to work with them. So what's your program? What's your book? What is it that you're doing to get beyond there? Because then you have something to talk about, the ways of promoting yourself, to say, hey, I'm helping you, and here's a way of doing it. I've got this message, and here's different ways of getting my message. Maybe they're YouTube videos, little segments. You didn't provide information on what you're doing there, but the key thing with getting up on stages is knowing that most stages are going to be pay to play. So you have to pay to get up on the stage, and you have something to sell at the back of the room. Now, maybe you've got a message, and there's lots of people out there that are going out there, and I know one guy, Sam Dema, who's got a great message, and he's going out and talking to high school kids, and so the school boards are bringing him in, and so he found that his audience was students who are struggling, people who are because he identified with those, so that's his message. Here's how I did it. And he's got a backpack, and he's going out and reaching out to the schools, and so that he's finding his audience there. So maybe you want to go and target corporate. Maybe you want to go to businesses and explain how teams, managers of teams can help their teams become more productive by reducing their stress and anxiety. Maybe that's your message. I don't have a lot of information in there, but framing. A lot of people talk about public relations as being spin. It's not spin, it's framing. How are you framing the discussion? And how you frame it is important because it gets out there. It's how you get your word out there. It's how you get your message, and how people will hear you. Because when you do social media and you do other types of media, mass media, and other types of promotions, and you're trying to get the message out there, you need to pick an audience and speak to them directly. And you'll have different audiences, different interests. So you speak to those specific interests and those specific audiences one at a time. People will all too often just try to speak to everybody. And I keep saying, if you're following me, I say, if you talk to everybody, you speak to nobody. So you need to be very specific in your messaging. And it really does start with the foundations, your mission, your vision, mission, and values. And if you're interested, I've got a process that can help you with that. My brand alignment blueprint that allows you to help write and create the statements that are going to help build your business. And even if you're in business and you're doing something already and you just need to align that and you need to get things connected again, then this can help you. And then what you do is we take these statements, we develop them together in this simple 4-step process. We create these effective messages, and we put them out on your social media, your websites. We start creating the messaging from there. We identify the audiences from there. We figure out how to meet those people where they are. And then, it's the marketing, just like with a business. How are you getting your message out there? Where are you getting it? Those are important things. I did a series of webinars that was all on how to effectively create an avatar, how to recognize who your audience is, choose which audiences you're going to speak to, make your message specific to them, and then how to message to them. Where are they? Which platforms? How do they speak? How do they think? And it was very effective. We saw a lot of people come through and benefited a lot from it. So get back to the basic, go to the basics, develop yourself as a business, as a speaker, develop yourself as a business, and work from there and grow your audience, find your audience and grow them because of that common cause. So Tim, I hope that helps. And I will be following up on these emails and trying to connect with you specifically and directly. That's all I've got. No comments in the chat. So could be wrapping things up. If you need help with your business, if you're looking to grow, even through the summer months, if you're looking to help yourself as a communicator and even as a business, how do you communicate your values? Give me a shout, jdthomas at jdstrategicrelations.com. You can visit jdstrategicrelations.com and we can set up a free 30-minute introductory session to find out a little bit more about your business. I always give value. You'll walk away with something, or leave the Zoom or phone call or however we decide to connect. Then we'll do with that. And let's reach out to me. We'll see what we can do to connect. If you're liking the information on these videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and on my social media, and click the notification for new videos that are coming out. And please click that thumbs up button if you like this video, if you found it interesting and helpful. We'll see you next Thursday. I'm going to continue doing these things. I plan to do these things through the summer to try to help businesses and continue on to grow. I'm a capitalist. I want to see businesses grow. I like helping generally 3 to 5 year businesses. That's generally been my sweet spot. I've worked with small to medium businesses. I've worked with Fortune 500 companies, and I've got a wide range of areas of where I can help. But I also connect people with their businesses to the resources. As a business advisor, I look at what's going on with the business. I find ways that they could be, the business owners could be doing things differently, find ways of making teams work better, finding the efficiencies, finding new processes and methodologies that will allow you to get more time and more energy and more direct drive to what your goals are. And whether it's my services or somebody else's, that we get the best thing that's for you and your business. And with speaking and communications, I can help you there too. But give me a shout. Let me see what I can do to help you out. And we'll see you next week. And thank you very much for joining. And have a great week. Have a great weekend. Oh, someone's just commenting right now. No, thank you very much for the comments. I appreciate you. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Thursday.